Oh. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Goblin Leader podcast. And today we're going to be running some standard. Oh, wait, wrong button. I really appreciate y'all being here. Let's jump into some games. Been having a lot of fun with the standard list recently, and someone's been telling me to test Sephiroth. So we're going to see whether or not we can go into a standard event. See if we can keep turning these one playing point, these gems into more gems. I like this list a lot. Sculpture, Curse Crafter, Taster, Bomber, Howl Squad, Painter Studio, Burst Lightning, Lightning Strike, Eclipse Realms, Cavern, Blood Crypt, Blaze Verge, Mountains. Sideboard doesn't really matter because we're playing best of one. I mean, I like this a lot. Sideboard could probably be a lot better, but we're just testing the main deck, trying to figure out what's the best configuration. And away we go. Very excited to see how we can do. We were able to get a 7-2 last time. Deck felt extremely strong. Did play against some matchups that were pretty tough. But that's good. We want the hardest matchups possible so we can get the best possible experience. I don't think so. This hand basically does nothing. This is better. At least we have a curve with this hand, although we don't have a red source for the Painter Studio or the strikes. Bottom of strike, probably. Cavern on Goblin. Get the Bastronaut down. See what they're doing. Take C for no value, turn 1. They're just trying to get as many creatures in play as possible, potentially to double block this Bastronaut. Let's get the Seer Slicer down. They might be saying that they're going to Shelter by Ghost on the Pixie. Attack. This makes me think that they don't have a Shelter by Ghosts. Otherwise, they would have done that in a different order. Okay, so we can go. They probably have a flash creature here, like the Sun Kieran. Sun something Kieran. Let's get down the Curse Crafter. Do they cast a counterspell? No. Attack with these two. No blocks. Flash in the Kieran at the end step. Another dude. If we ever find a red source, this Painter Studio is going to do work. Black. So now they have double black online. Storm Chaser's Talent. Plus removal spell. Pixie. Bounce. Something. No attacks. We found the red source, so this is huge. We can go Defaced Gallery, Combat, Attack, 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 Attack. The only thing we don't want to attack with is this Seer Slicer. If they double block on the Bastronaut, we get to kill, I guess, only one of their things, but that's fine because they take 7 if they take that line. Puts them at 10. Then we can play another Bastronaut next turn. Kill the Pixie. And they take a damage from the creature dying. We get to play a Bastronaut. And they concede! Okay, opponent, okay. felt pretty good. Shows the power of mulliganing for an efficient hand. You know, if we just had a bunch of burn spells, we wouldn't have really been able to do what we needed to do, which was go 1-drop into 2-drop. Bastronaut and the Seer Slicer single-handedly won us that game. This hand looks great. Same thing as last time. We don't really have a red Sorceress Painter or Defaced Gallery, but we can go 1-drop and a 2-drop, or sorry, 1-drop and a 2-drop into 3. Taster could be really good on 3 if we had a land. Enigma Jewel, okay. Well, we found our red source. Bastronaut on 1. Clay-fired bricks, sure. They get to gain 2 life. This means that we get to go pretty much unimpeded goblin. Attack. Play Seer Slicer. Pinnacle Star Cage is probably not something we have to worry about. They do have a tap land, so they can't just immediately go Retrofitter Foundry, pod the Clay-fired bricks into a removal spell. They leave it on top. Let's go Taster of Wares first. We get to look at all the cards in their hand. Take the United Battlefront. Attack because we know they only have lands. And Sep would make another dude. Now we get to go United Battlefront. That's pretty awesome. Cryogen Relic on top. That's fine. They get to redraw. They didn't leave up a blue source to activate it, though. Passage on blue tapped. Eclipse Realms on Goblin. Non-creature, non-permanent cards. We don't really have any of those. Let's go Defaced Gallery. And we might be able to get them with a Lightning Strike. We go Lightning Strike to the face, puts them at a 13. Max speed, that's 4, 7. Yeah. Good game, opponent. Well played. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the just the extra damage that Painter Studio gives is huge. Feels incredibly powerful when we are able to just get a board pretty quickly and then immediately capitalize on the board. Having our Lord not die to shock is huge. Round 1 was Esper, Blink. Round 2 was one, 2, 3. Yeah. Turn 1 Bastronaut. Let's go to combat. Attack, play a mountain, play a Seer Slicer. Spell Snare, sure. We have a second one. Main phase Abandoned Attachments, sure. Plays a Grand. We can go Blazemire Verge. Get down Dropkick Bomber. Combat for 2. Next turn, we can go double 2-drop. They just pass. That's really good for us. Swing out. They don't block. Damage is fine. I mean, I like this line. We go Lightning Strike on Gran. They have to cast the Quench and then pitch a Lesson. No, that doesn't work. So now we can play this Seer Slicer. If they have another Spell Snare, that's fine. We're already way ahead on board. They have to use a removal spell on it. Totally fair. Pitch is 3 steps ahead. Monument. Cast trigger. Pitches Quench. Pay 2 life. Play Taster. Play Taster takes. The Accumulate Wisdom. Combat. Attack. The clock doesn't change if we do the other thing. Abandoned Attachments is fine. They're doing a lot of digging. And we can dig for our own burn spells. Accumulate. See what they do. Take the Squelcher. Get the Squelcher down. This is uncounterable. If it resolves, they can't kill our stuff. Sure, they can dig for another 1 mana spell. Cast Abandoned Attachments. Get the treasure back. Dig for more 1 mana removal spells. Now we go Taster, look at their hand, and they concede because even if they have a removal spell for one of our creatures, they die to the other attacker and the ward pay 2 life. Really, really, whew. Okay. Felt really good. Take a deep breath. Reset. I'll try this. We don't have a 1-drop, but we can go Squelcher into Seer Slicer into Seer Slicer. Okay, Authority's pretty good against us. Cavern on Goblin. Get the Squelcher down. Sure, so this is another artifact deck. Force them to pay 2. Play a Seer Slicer. They shock. Another spring-loaded Saw Blades, sure. Enigma Jewel, okay. Get down Curse Crafter and Seer Slicer. Okay, third spring-loaded Saw Blades, sure. Now Curse Crafter finally does something. We'll go on Goblin. Poke. 17. Get a Seer Slicer down. They do get to gain the 2 life back that they lost, but we get to deal it back to them next turn plus 3. Star Cage is pretty good. That does take our whole board. It also takes their whole board. Get a Squelcher down. Cryogen Relic, sure. Go to my turn. Combat, attack. Synthesizer's fine. I'll kick a Burst Lightning. Play a Verge, combat, attack. Battlefront is pretty good. This was my own fault because I kept a pretty weak hand, if I'm being honest. No 1-drop. This really showed the importance of having a 1-drop in this matchup. LORYWN Goblin, and I feel pretty dead. Another Battlefront will do it. They definitely get 2 artifacts. So this makes it at least a 12. Or sorry, an 11. And then we get to Repurposing Bay, which then makes it a 12. Yeah, 13. Good game, opponent. Well played. Okay, so mulliganing our mono 2-drop hand would have been very important there. I'm sure we could have found something faster. Astronaut and the Seer Slicer really is the start that we're looking for in most of these matchups. So let's run it back. I believe. Your opening hand is to set you up for success. This looks really good. We can go pay 2 life, play a Stadium Headliner. Verge, play the Seer Slicer, go to combat attack. This looks like the blue-green Coma deck. So we really have to make sure that we hold up this double burst lightning for pretty much the entire game. Okay, lightning strike is going to be a little bit easier. Headliner, it's not a 2-drop, combat attack. Another thing is to not play into an Aetherize, which could be in the deck. And they just concede. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they didn't have any other lands besides the 2 Earthroses, so not going to be able to get there with just 2 blue sources in your Simic deck. Yeah, the main deck feels very, very powerful. Just trying to figure out like the best way to configure the sideboard. And then I feel very confident about this deck. I really like the idea of being able to pivot into like more of a mid-range deck. Game 1, we have the ability to be very aggressive. And then, you know, post-board, we could probably make a complete shift in the matchups where we need to something a lot more defensive and mid-rangey. Do we have a 1-drop? We do. We can go 1, 2, 3 with burst lighting as removal on the curve. Astronaut. Combat. Attack. Okay, this is just Sky Control. Interesting. Clipstroms, Goblin. Let's get down this Curse Crafter. We probably have a Day of Judgment. Goblin. But even so, I think that getting the Howl Squad down is important. When we go to combat, another Lightning Helix, sure. Deals them a damage. Then we get to attack for 2. They're back to 23. Now they Day of Judgment. They stock up. Interesting. They go to 6 cards. Play a land, go to 5 cards. I think we still play the Howl Squad, even though they probably have a day. Seamer up the Curse Crafter, sure. Now we definitely go Howl Squad. Next turn, if we draw land, we can go Taster plus Astronaut. They definitely have a Day of Judgment. Your control opponent always has a Day of Judgment. Okay, maybe not. Let's go to combat. Get lost is fine. I will crack on this. See if we draw a land. Strike. Do we want another strike? They're at 20. I think we really need our lands. Don't know why I would tap our cavern. Cliffstromes, Goblin. Combat. Attack. Max speed. Let's play Bastronaut. We have 4, 8, 11 points of burn in hand. Found another Seamer for the Bastronaut. We want a 1-drop really bad. Verge is decent, so now we can start holding up these Burst Lightnings. Taster, show us a Jeskai Revelation. I mean, I'll take the Console because the counterspell doesn't do anything for them. They don't have a Jeskai Revelation in hand. I mean, I'll look at the top 5. So what's the most that we can do? 5 on the attack. I mean, another Taster would be phenomenal. I mean, I like another Taster that takes the Wrath if they have one. Let's lead on this. See what they do. I mean, if they have removal, they use it, right? Three steps ahead, draw 2, discard. They're looking for removal, sure. Pitch a Get Lost. Ultima Meringue, Jeskai Revelation. I mean, I'll take the Ultima. Play to face gallery. Attack. Put them to 9. They go to 7. If we took the Jeskai Revelation instead, we can't cast it, but they board wipe. They board wipe, it goes immediately to our turn. I mean, to be fair, I think we're kind of fine because of the burn that we have in our hand. They can bounce. So the burst lightning basically just counters the life gain. They do get to draw 2. Not taking the Jeskai Revelation is probably a punt there. We don't need our board as much as we probably think we do. Let's go to combat. Declare attacks. So they unsummon the token, kill the taster. So that's all fine. Blockers. I can go Burst Lightning 1. I have exactly 11 points of burn in my hand. So what if I just say this is fine? Kick a Burst Lightning at your face. I mean, if the Jeskai Revelation is the same thing as a board wipe, I guess I should have just done that. Kick a Burst Lightning. They do have a Lightning Helix, sure. Hardcast Meringue River Region. Oh no, Coil. Coil Catch, okay. Yeah, F's in the chat. Big punt for not taking the Jeskai Revelation because it basically did the same thing as a board wipe. We can go Curse Crafter. Unlock. We're looking for a land. There's a cavern. Beautiful. Goblin. Get down the stadium headliner. It is not the greatest matchup, I agree. But yeah, I think we definitely would have had a much better chance if we would have taken the Jeskai Revelation. Because the Jeskai Revelation turned into an Ultima anyways. I think we had a pretty good sequence there to win if we hadn't punted. I mean, we could always draw Goblin. We could always draw another burn spell. Map onto the Seer Slicer. Map onto the Seer Slicer. Bastronaut. We can go sure. 1, 2, 3. They don't have enough to activate Corey. I guess I can leave this on top and cast this Dropkick. This forces them to have a board wipe. Kick a Consult for 10. Okay, they find a Jeskai Revelation for sure. Day of Judgment, sure. Land, surveil. Bin, spell snare. I draw the Bastronaut. I play Bastronaut. Strike your face. Make them cast their Jeskai Revelation. They deal 4 to the Bastronaut. They unsummon the Lightning Strike back to my hand. They go to 10. Sure, that's fine. Pitch a Day of Judgment. Go to my turn. Oh, if we would have waited, what could have been? 2, 4, 6, 7. Goblin. We could have waited for the Lightning Strike during our turn. The reason I did it there was to force what they did. The issue is, yeah, if this was their line, right? I guess they still would have had 3 steps ahead of, like, up. They're bouncing their Meticulous Archive, sure. Damage to the Bastronaut. We could have, in response, double striked them. The issue is they had 4, 7. Yeah, they had enough in order to resolve. Yeah, I'll strike your face. Back to 7. Lightning Helix my face. Prowess triggers. Why are they saying good game? Do they have another Jeskai Revelation? I don't believe the game's over until it's over. It was okay. So 3 Jeskai Revelations. What do they cast? 1, 2, 3. So 3 consults, 2 stock ups. Now it was a good game, but I can't say it anymore. Yeah, no, you know what? There was 1 sequence, 2 sequences there. I could have taken the Jeskai Revelation. They wouldn't have gained 4 life. So there was a point where I would have just killed them with the burn in my hand. And then there was also the sequence where I cast Lightning Strike at the end step. I could have waited until they cast their Jeskai Revelation, but if they had the 3 steps ahead in their hand anyways, they would have just held it up and wouldn't have been able to spree it. Unless they found the Jeskai Revelation off of the spree. I don't think I can do nothing until turn 3. I mean, best case scenario. Doesn't look great. Okay, this is something where I can at least cast a 2-drop. Bottom second high squad heavy, maybe. Verge can't cast a strike. Let's try like this. Verge. Yeah, really close game though. And control is one of our tougher matchups, at least with the way that I build the deck. Taster is our godsend, and we just picked the wrong card. Okay, Gloomlike Verge, Cavern on Goblin. Let's get down this. Curse Crafter. Mountain. Play Howl Squad Heavy. They might have a Shoot the Sheriff in their hand, but Shoot the Sheriff does not kill Howl Squad Heavy or Curse Crafter because one is a Warlock and the other is a Mercenary. They can kill the 1/1. Picklock Prankster, mills 4. Picks up Fairy Fencing. $17, advancing speed. So they can go cast Picklock Prankster, Fairy Fencing, kill Howl Squad. Yep. Yeah. I feel like the Jeskai list is hard for us, especially because they play like Lightning Helix and Jeskai Revelation, which are both able to give them incidental life gain stapled to efficient removal. So it's pretty good. Ego Drain. So it's just Thoughtseize where they don't have to lose life. Sure. So they pick one of our removal spells. We'll use the other one on the Prankster. Let's get the land down, get the stadium headliner down. Yeah, let's just strike the Prankster so we can get in with everything. They're at 9. Combat. They tap out for Fairy Fencing on the Howl Squad. Go blue, white control. Just is. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's one of those decks that you don't really want to see if you're trying to like push through board wipes. That's fine. I'll kill the Enduring Curiosity. You get pinged, you go to 7 or 8. Then you take 2, 4, 8. Good game, opponent. Well played. Okay. Cavern doing heavy lifting in that game. I'm sure my opponent had a billion counter spells. It's another example of mulliganing to a good hand. The first hand was all 3 drops and some burn spells. That hand at least had 2 drops, creatures, and a cavern. It's not really worth mulliganing to a cavern. However, having aggressive curve. An aggressive curve is pretty important. Yeah, this is another example of a hand that we have to mulligan. This is a better hand. We're going to bottom Painter Studio because we don't have a bunch of creatures in this hand. Goblins? Question mark. Mountain Pass. Second Grease Wrench. Attack for 2. We can go Verge, Curse Crafter. We do not play Boggart Mischief in this build just because, ooh, they're going to play Sheltered by Ghosts. Yeah. Just because of the fact that I don't think Mischief is good in this build. I want everything to be a threat. Clips Drums, Goblin. But that could be wrong, definitely. Let's go Taster, look at a card out of their hand. Hopefully they're both burn spells. Yep, this means they're both burn spells because they would only give me one if they still had something else that's better. Case of the Crimson Pulse. Okay. They solved it. Oh, no. Solve at the beginning of your next end step. I'll go no blocks. Cavern on Goblin. Let's go Lightning Strike. Sorry, Taster of Wares. I apologize. Take the Boros Charm for sure. No attacks. Another Sheltered by Ghosts. That's fine. Which one do you target? This one has the Boros Charm. So I don't need to cast the Burst Lightning right now. That's fine. No cards in hand. Go to attacks. So I can go to blocks. Very interesting. I think no blocks. Damage is fine. They don't want to pump. That's interesting. Okay, they're going to start growing the Hired Claw. Oh, it's because they can't. They cast a spell. I'm dumb. That's fine. We'll Burst Lightning one of these. Yeah, that was a punt. We can get the Howl Squad down. Combat. This attacks into the 4/3. They gain a bunch of life. We could have prioritized killing this Hired Claw on a much earlier turn. We decided to rely on our blocks for it, and that was a huge mistake. They could definitely just double spell burn us here. Burst lightning, kill the grease wrench. Okay, pitch 2 non-burn spells. They lightning helix there. Very interesting. So they still don't have good attacks. What's up, Dan? Appreciate you dropping in. Yeah, well, I am not playing. Some people are playing like the black removal spells. I don't think that we have enough black sources to like justify that if we play Cavern and Eclipse Realms. So I love playing Burst Lightning and Lightning Strike. I think it just gives you a lot of reach in a lot of games. Of course, it makes certain matchups a lot harder, but I think it's worth it. So, but yeah. Yeah, we really can't afford to attack. We need one more land. Another Hired Claw. Another Hired Claw. And a land. Can we get a land is the question. Oh, we should have shot it before they could go to combat. Oh, this is so tough. This is so tough. Punts, punts, punts. Yeah, when they go to combat, we should have shot this Hired Claw. I guess they could have attacked with this one and pumped it anyways. But they're being safe, which I respect. Kick the Burst Lightning, kill the Hired Claw. Big punts. Punts, punts, punts. F's in the chat. Ah, it's not a land. If we drew a land here, yeah, multiple mistakes this game. So many mistakes. It's okay. You win some, you lose some. Play the Sear Slicer. No, it's okay. You know, it's tough when you lose to yourself. That's the only thing that really hurts. But opponent has a really cool deck. You know, Shelter by Ghosts is something that, you know, double Shelter by Ghosts is a card that will beat us in most matchups. Good game. Go out in a blaze of glory. All right. Well, that's how that goes. We had a pretty good run. I mean, we ran into some tough matchups, and in the end, we lost to our own hubris. The deck feels strong. I feel like we definitely have the ability to. You know, we went 7-2 the other day. We went 5-0 with Pioneer the other day, so that's how that goes. You can't win them all. It was very close. Felt very strong. I don't think I would change anything in the lists. I think that, you know, the burn gives us a lot of reach late game. Some of our hardest matchups are shored up by the fact that we could just draw multiple burn spells and close the game. So Sheltered is a pretty strong card. Overpowered, close. Definitely very close. But have you thought of Stoke the Flames? Yeah, I mean, I like Stoke. The issue is, you know, being able to or having to tap your creatures down when they could just attack to deal more damage is rough. I think that a 4-mana burn spell is not as good as a 1-mana or a 2-mana, burn spell. And Stoke the Flames oftentimes is just as good as Burst Lightning late game because you already have the lands, right? It is 4 mana instead of 5 mana, but you know, 1 mana for 2 early is sometimes much more advantageous. So yeah, link in the description if you want to go check out the deck list. And I really appreciate y'all watching. I'm gonna go eat, but tomorrow we're gonna be playing Pioneer. We're gonna be back with more goblins. That's the cool thing, you know. We play a different format every single day. Monday's standard, Tuesday's Pioneer, Wednesday is Modern, Thursday's Pauper, Friday's Legacy, Saturday is either a RCQ or a challenge, and then Sunday is a fun day. We do whatever we want. So really appreciate you watching. Until next time, I hope you have a beautiful day. Peace.